What is up? Thank you for being here on the channel. I'm Esoteric Essa, aka your Esoteric Homegirl Jasmine. I'm behind the screen today and I'm back with a pick a card reading. Spirit fingers. Yeah, I'm so excited because we hit over 555 subscribers on the channel. I've been a little MIA on the channel because I've been focusing on the podcast, Patreon, other content, and my writing. But thank you guys for subscribing. If you haven't yet, please help me. We are halfway to 1,000 subscribers. So if you can subscribe, I would be sincerely grateful. This pick a card reading, you are here because you're interested in knowing which ancient Mesoamerican deity is working with you, connecting with you in this moment. The energy of the Mesoamerican, indigenous, Aztec, Mayan deity that is working alongside you as a spirit guide energy. And what is the purpose? So we got 3 piles. And mind you, if it doesn't resonate, it's just not the video for you, or maybe it's not the video for you yet. You might resonate with 2 piles, or hell, even all 3 piles. So we got pile 1, which is the yellow candle, pile 2, the white candle, pile 3, the green candle. Go ahead and pause it, meditate, take a couple deep breaths in, focus your intention on the third eye and relaxing, and go with the immediate pile you want to pick. Don't hesitate. So I'm gonna go ahead, let you do that. And we'll get started with pile number 1. All right, you guys, if you chose pile 1, you chose this beautiful yellow candle. When I think of yellow, obviously I think of the solar plexus, I think of prosperity, I think of the sun, I think of courage, empathy, but I think of humility, the ego. So it could be that you guys are doing a lot of solar plexus work, stepping more into your confidence, defining and owning who you are in the world and your identity, stepping into your power. So I've got quite a few cards here. Before we get into the deities, I want to get into the pile. So I'm using affirmation cards from the Salvaged Sawhorse Oracle Wholeness cards. You can check her out. She is a Latina oracle designer and she sells her cards on Etsy. So your affirmation that you got is, I love myself, which is great. It correlates really well with the yellow color. So I love myself. And if you hear little paw prints running, that's my Yorkie Rocco. So I also picked astrological cards. These can be either your main sun sign, or these are the placements that the deity is helping you work with in your natal chart. So we got Pisces. And I love how both of these 2 images right off the bat have really long flowy hair. So you might have really long hair. You might pride yourself in your hair. You might feel that your hair, the length of your hair, is your connection to your intuition. You might feel like maybe you curl your hair a lot. Maybe your hair is a deep, sensitive subject to you, or maybe your hair to you is very significant in how you define your beauty, or maybe culturally how families define beauty. Like maybe growing up you were taught you couldn't have short hair, you know, or short hair was for just boys, or a woman should have long luscious hair. Again, look at the hair. Okay, so you definitely have, you know, a connection with hair. It could also be that growing your hair out and getting your hair longer will help you with strengthening your intuition. But here's the second astrological sign, which is Sagittarius. So Pisces and Sagittarius, it could be that you need to look at your 12th house placements or your 9th house to further understand maybe more of the work and the healing that you need to do. So let's pick up the Archetype cards. We got Samaritan, and this says refines your capacity to help those you would prefer to ignore. That's the light attribution. Refines your capacity to help those you prefer to ignore. The shadow attribute, exacting appreciation and recognition for help you offer. So I do feel like maybe there's a little bit of victim mentality here that we need to work through. Maybe there's a lot of doing things for validation or doing things for maybe getting a thank you in response. Really taking a look at understanding with the Samaritan card over here. Are we giving and helping and being of service, or sharing and loving because it's a deep act of service because you love yourself, right? You love yourself so wholly that you can give to other people and help them and see them shine and see them grow without that feeling like it's taken away from you. Because the deeper, I feel like this deity is trying to help you understand that the more in tune you are with your self-love and who you are and what you have to offer to the table with these like roots or herbs, whatever, stemming from her body, you know, you're growing even more and you're flourishing even more, and you'll be helping other people flourish by giving that helping hand. And in turn, it's going to be good karma for you. So the second archetype is the child's divine. Light attributes are innocence, purity, and redemption. Suggests a special connection with the divine. This is just a reminder that this deity is trying to help you do inner child healing. Again, I feel like there's something here that stems from the household that you were largely influenced maybe by a father figure, that determined a lot of your self-worth, determined what your outlook on beauty was, your outlook of the feminine, the divine feminine, and you're rewriting that. It's interesting because we have like a mermaid here, and then we have the Sagittarius, which is similar to a centaur, who's someone's half animal. Both of these individuals are half animal, half woman. So I think also what Spirit is trying to say, you know, is the spirit guide that you're working with is trying to help you go back to when we think of the divine child. We think of our primal instincts, our security, our stability, what made us feel safe in the home. So it seems like there's this need that this guide, this deity that we're about to go into right here, is wanting you to do some inner child healing, not only for yourself, but it seems like this inner child healing is going to help heal the ancestral trauma in your family, in your lineage, specifically with women in the family. So let's get into it. We have, and I might butcher these names, so we have Tonalpo Huali, and this isn't a deity. This is, oh my God, I forgot to tell you. So this is from the Jade Oracle. This is from the Jade Oracle. I should have totally done that in the intro. But I'll do that with every pile. And so this is about the ritual calendar. So, and this woman's holding a baby. So and the child. So maybe you're doing a lot of, maybe you work with children, and the spirit guide wants you to help bring in light working and consciousness with children, the work you do. If you're maybe like a social worker, a therapist, a teacher, or even if you're a mother and you have or a father and you have your own child, not only is there a need to heal the inner child as well, but there's also a need to, I feel like with the ritual calendar, incorporate more rituals with healing the inner child and helping maybe bring your children into rituals with you. So like if you have kids, have them help you do an ancestor altar, have them feel connected to their roots. We also got Yakatecutli, which is the guide, the Señor Guía. And so this is more of an archetype energy. This is about understanding that I feel you have really serious spirit guides from this time. I feel like you have had past lives, multiple past lives during the Aztecs. And I feel like maybe you have certain spirit guides from that time, primal, primitive spirit guides that are with you. I feel like there's an energy of you needing to collect cactus or have cactus plants in your home, have cacti or even succulents. Like I feel like cactus is coming out really strongly, decorating the home with cactus, the plant spirits, because again we have the plants over here. So you do have a connection to plants, to yerbera, to herbs, to all that good stuff. And then you have Toki Tonantzin, Toquitonancin, which is the Great Mother, Nuestra Abuela. So some of you might actually, when I look at her, I think of the Virgin Mary. And again, there's a lot of references of children here. You might even be with this rabbit here and the ritual calendar, maybe trying to sync up your menstruation, your fertility. Maybe you're trying to plan to have a child, trying to start a family. And what Spirit is saying is, if you are trying to do that, your spirit baby is here. Your spirit baby is in the vortex. Your spirit baby is getting ready to come into this physical 3D. So don't give up. If some of you have been having maybe challenges with conceiving or trying to get pregnant, I feel like connect with Toquitonancin, the Great Mother, so that way you can work with her inner divinity to I guess maybe sync up more of your lunar cycles with your menstruation. But don't give up, because you do also have a connection to children. Even if it's you not physically having kids, let's say you're someone who doesn't want to have children, because we're reading for multiple people here, you are meant to help maybe your niece and nephews or do work with children. Because I mean, there's so many references of kids here in the cards. But you're working with Toquitonancin and you're working with Yacatecuhtli. So if you want to check these out and look more into these deities, or you can check out the Jade Oracle. These are the deities that are currently with you, assisting you with reconnecting, healing the inner child, and healing your femininity, your divine feminine. Even if you're a masculine watching this, I feel like there could be some masculines because of this right here. You know, healing your inner divine feminine will help you heal, I feel like maybe the toxic masculinity that might have existed in your family, in the men in your family. Also, a lot of blue here, right? A lot of blue. So working with blue, maybe wearing more of the color blue, maybe blue is your favorite color. There's a need for you, I feel like, to incorporate more blues. Even if that's like blue crystal stones or going to the water, I feel like you might also have a connection to water meditation. So Pile 1, I hope you found this helpful. Thank you so much for tuning in. Drop a comment. And thank you so much. Please subscribe, and I will catch you later. All right, let's go to pile number 2. You chose the white candle. So again, just so you know, we are using the Jade Oracle cards by Veronica, Iglesias, Anki, and Ramona. So there's that. And then I'm also using Wholeness cards by the Savage Sawhorse, which is also a Latina Oracle creator. And this is what we pulled. Before we get into your deities, we got some affirmation cards, some astrological cards, and then some archetype cards. And then we'll go into the deity and what this energy is assisting you with. So this group got 2 affirmation cards. 2 fell out. Pile 1 and pile 3 didn't get to. So where I am right now is where I need to be. Okay. So there might be this feeling of I need to rush, maybe not appreciating the present moment. I feel like also with the Mercury retrograde, it's probably slowed, because when I think of green, I think of Mercury, the planet. And I feel like maybe this Mercury retrograde has really slowed you down significantly. Maybe there's a little bit of frustration with yourself, like, I gotta do this, or why can't I do this, or why can't things be faster, or where's my success at, where's my abundance, or maybe frustration with yourself. If you're working at a snail's pace, you're working at a snail's pace. Remember, the energy is affecting you exactly how it should be. I am whole. Yeah, I am whole. So with this energy right here, I think also there's a deep focus on maybe lack mentality and seeing from a picture of, you know, scarcity, right? Like, here's the landscape, and you might look at it and be like, well, there's not enough trees, or there's only 4 trees in this landscape. It could have more, or it could be more luscious, right? But in reality, we look at the bigger picture, and we have to see it for what it is and understand it is what it is. I also feel like this group gets messages with the clouds. So if you do like sky gazing, look up at the clouds. I feel like you do divination with the clouds, like spirit, the spirit guide sends you like maybe animal formations in the clouds. Like you might look up and see a dragon or see like a rabbit or whatever. I feel like the spirit guide connects with you through nature, again with the green. I feel like this is a very earthy guide, earthly deity that maybe you've been working with. Okay, so these are the astrological signs. You might have them, they might be your sun sign, or if not, these are placements in your chart that we need you to look at, that this guide wants you to do more healing in, because it's going to help you more into accessing deeper shadow work and healing, okay? So we have Saturn. He is the Lord of Karma. We have Cancer, which is really beautiful because white candles to me associate with the moon, and Cancer is ruled by the planet moon. So you might have a deep connection to the moon. Actually, I'm reading for pile 2 and I was already channeling pile 3. So pile 3 might work for you. So if you felt called to look at pile 3 next, there might be some messages there for you as well. Okay, so these might be astrological signs that maybe for Saturn, that's Capricorn or Aquarius. So maybe you're a Capricorn sun, Aquarius sun, or moon or rising. I'm getting significant moon energy here. So let's get into the archetype energies. This deity is bringing up companion in reverse. I feel like I am whole. Where I am right now is where I need to be. Maybe you are exiting a union. Maybe you're going through a breakup. There's a need with all this green to tap into your heart chakra, access self-love, right? I am whole, right? We got to come into union with ourselves first before we even think of the possibility of coming into union with someone else. I feel like this deity is helping you work on reclaiming your wholeness and coming into union with yourself. And then, oh, another reverse. So there's a lot of blocked energy here for this group. No worries, that happens to all of us. No one is perfect. This is the martyr in reverse. And a martyr, when it's in reverse, the shadow attribute is addiction to self-pity. So I am whole and self-pity. So again, this person's like floating in the sky. So I don't know if maybe like also you're in a relationship and you kind of feel like the love is lost, or you're going through like a little bit of a hardship or a bump in the road, and it's like I no longer feel like we're on cloud 9. With the Saturn energy, I feel like, because Saturn's all about work. He's all about putting in the work, and Capricorn is the same thing. Capricorn energy is putting in the work, and they're both, Capricorn's a very earthly planet. This person's wearing green. So again, I gravitated to the green candle. There's a need for you to incorporate more green into maybe your home or your clothing or the crystals that you're using, going outside and connecting with Mother Earth. But maybe like the lightness of a situation has dissipated and things are getting dense and heavy. And when someone is in their martyr energy, which all of us can go into this, it's when we kind of go into victim mode or victim mentality, and we look at a situation, and this deity is wanting you to look at the situation and not see it so much as woe is me, but learn to understand that all of that is happening to help you self-reflect on these blockages of where we need healing, where we need to advance. So we got, I'm totally butchered the names. We got Chihuitli, turquoise. So turquoise is a significant color for this group, or the turquoise crystal stone. They want you to work with that. Also, maybe you are connected to like, I'm getting, what are those things called? Holy goodness. Dreamweavers? No. Dream catchers? Dream catchers. Dreamweavers. Okay. Okay, new word. Maybe you need a dreamweaver. Maybe you've been having like, maybe some, because I feel like you're kind of in a low vibration here, no disrespect. So I feel like that's also been manifesting in the mind. So you might have been having like maybe some nightmares or not so pleasant dreams. So we do need to, with turquoise, turquoise is a color of Also connecting us with the moon and with a higher vibration of seeking clarity, the throat chakra. So maybe there's something that we need to express and finally say our piece about something. And then you got, oh, very nice. You got the deity that's got Lipoca, the Lord of the Smoking Mirror. If you want to learn more about him, I have an episode on the podcast, Better Work Bitch, with Valeria the Mexican Witch, who works with this deity, and you can learn more about him. This is a masculine deity. And it's interesting because he works a lot with feminines, with the female energy, with women. He appears to a lot of women. And this is more about accessing our darker side. You see his black skin, right? It's about our shadow self. So I feel like you're kind of going through a dark night of the soul right now. And this deity is trying to help you observe the dark. Sometimes we have to really sit in the dark to find the light, right? And you got a white candle, and the white candle is about the light, which you're seeking the light, and here's the sun peeking out. So I feel like, you know, it's the light at the end of the tunnel. Like you're coming around, like you've been through some really thick, and you're about to come out of it. And then, oh, this is beautiful. And then you got Xochiquetzal, which is precious flower. And she's a deity, a feminine deity archetype. She's all about connecting with our sacred love and self-love. So you can also connect with her with the moon and doing lunar rituals with her as well. So it's interesting because Tezcatlipoca is also a deity. Although he's a deity of the night, he's also a deity of the sun. And here you have the sun. So I feel like this deity is letting you know, this energy is letting you know, keep working on self-love. You're coming out, you're doing a lot of really dark shadow work that you've been working on and healing, you know. With this crab, I feel like it's been a hard journey. You've really gone within, and Xochiquetzal, precious flower, right? She connects with flowers as her offerings. And if you look at this card, the Cancer card, this feminine, she's holding flowers. So maybe incorporating more flowers in your home as well, putting more flowers on the altar. Maybe you've already started doing that. So there is a need for you to connect with flowers, this deity energy that's working with you. Maybe you resonate with both or one over the other, but these are the deities that are working with you and connected with you. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope you found this reading helpful. Please don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you on the flip side. If you chose pile number 3, this is your deck. Just a reminder, we are pulling from the Jade Oracle by Veronica, Iglesias, and Key, and Ramona Snowdale. I've also pulled affirmation cards from the Wholeness cards by the Salvaged Sawhorse, which is a Latina Oracle creator. And then we got some astro signs, some archetype energies, and then we'll go into the deities. So this is the deity energy that is currently influencing you, appearing to you, or trying to get your attention, or you're under the influence of this energy. And it's here to help you access a different aspect of your healing. So let's go ahead and get started with the affirmation card, which is, I take care of my body through movement, nourishing foods, and rest. Very interesting because you picked the green candle. And when I look at this, I almost look like, you know, like a smoothie or a green juice. Maybe you're detoxing, maybe you're juicing right now. Or if you felt like you're sluggish or like your body's out of whack or alignment, I'm not a doctor, not here to give medical advice, but maybe there's some cleansing that you need to do. Maybe there's a specific cleanse, purification that the body needs so you can feel more in alignment. Okay, moving on to the astral cards. These might be your sun sign, your zodiac sign, or if not, it doesn't mean this pile isn't for you, but it could also mean that these are the placements in your natal chart that this deity wants you to start working on and doing healing, or that they're helping you with. So first off, we got Jupiter. We got Jupiter, that's a planet, and Jupiter rules the 9th house, which is a house of spirituality, expansion, travel. And then you got Mercury, which is a planet, and he rules the 3rd house of communication. Mercury is associated with Gemini and Virgo, so maybe those are your zodiac signs, and Jupiter is Sagittarius, so maybe you're a Sagittarius. And I think Sagittarius was pulled in one of the other 2 decks. So maybe you want to reference those past 2 decks and see if there's a message for you. Let's get into archetypes. Priest. Facilitates spiritual commitment, serves as a channel of spiritual energy. With the Jupiter here, I feel like maybe you're someone who is a spiritualist, maybe you are a healer, maybe you're into divination, maybe you're just a very spiritual person. With Mercury and Jupiter here, I feel like maybe you're someone who communicates spirituality, whether that's through blogging, vlogging, podcasting, writing, holding events. Yeah, so this is probably a spiritual pile, not that the other piles weren't, no disrespect. And then prostitute, light attribute, accentuates the challenge of surviving without negotiating the power of your spirit. This is interesting because the priest and the prostitute are like polar opposites, right? They're like complete opposites. We have the godlike priest, and then we have, you know, the low vibrational stigma of the prostitute. So I feel like in this group, there might be this, there's a couple, right? It's general, right? So here's what I'm getting. There's a couple folks. There's folks here who are leaving the colonized stigma, taboo, misconception of spirituality. And when we think of the prostitute, it's someone who doesn't play by the rules, doesn't fit into culture, society's, you know, paradigms. So I feel like you're starting to explore this whole spiritual world. It's against everything you were taught, or people in your family don't like it. And it's almost like they make you feel dirty, or like even exploring this, you still feel kind of dirty, right? Because it's still like the stigma, this negative outlook. And so this deity is trying to help you with that. The other group I feel like is doing a lot of sexual healing. I feel like some inner child healing, maybe from some sexual trauma as well, coming through here. Maybe you've already done that. And I think it's interesting how I put the priest in front of the yellow candle, and then in this picture right here, this guy has like a yellow sun orb behind him. So I don't know if this group also is trying to heal, and with this guy here and this guy here, I mean, I feel like there's some deep healing with men in your life, toxic masculinity, and maybe for some of you that's making amends with the connection of the men in your family, whether that's father, brother. But with the prostitute and the nourishing the body, I also feel like this group maybe is dealing with body, loving your body, or body struggles. I mean, not body dysmorphia, but maybe you don't feel feminine or sexy, or you don't feel you meet society's standards. But I feel like this deity is helping you come to terms with that. And you know, when we think of the priest is about godlike energy, right? It's sacred, it's spiritual. And when we think of a prostitute, she's giving away her sexuality, which is another form of sacredness, right? Another form of our spirit, because sex is sacred. So I feel like there's a lot of reclaiming of what sacred is to you and taking back your sacredness. Yeah, I feel like this group has a really deep connection to healing the body. Okay, so let's get into the deities. We have, I also pulled like their oracles in it. So we have, and I might butcher, Chalchihuitli, which is Jade. That's nice. Jade is a crystal as well, and you picked the green card. So I feel like this group, with the Jade, there's a need for you to work with the Jade crystal stone. Obviously, a lot of turquoise and blues here, so these could be some of your favorite colors. I feel like this deity, maybe when you meditate, you see blues or you see greens. This deity comes to you as blue orbs or green orbs. You might be picking up more in these colors and like, oh, all of a sudden I really like blue candles, or I really like green socks or something. And you're like, why? I've never really liked these colors. But this deity likes jade, and is influencing you. Sometimes we're channeling their energy in our everyday life. You're like, all of a sudden I have green gel pens. Like, I don't know, right? You're like, why? And this is probably why. So Jade also, to me, with the green, this is abundance, this is prosperity. So I feel like this group really also takes pride in catering to their health. There's a real need to focus on health and wellness, mental health, spiritual health, your physical health. So this deity is helping you bring in more prosperity. I also feel like maybe you're going to be getting a lot of new opportunities coming in towards the end of this year. I don't know why they're saying December. And then you got Tlatzoteo, which is the spirit of divine love deity. And Tlatzoteo is more of a deity about, like, this is so interesting because she's actually, I work with her a lot. She actually is the deity of prostitution. And look what you got. I love when spirit does that. So she's known to create seduction and appear in 3 different phases of the trinity of the woman archetype. But she's also the patron of prostitutes and the moon and blood and menstruation. So I feel like there's this whole outlook on your femininity that she's helping you rewrite. And maybe that's even like getting more in tune with like your sexuality and self-pleasure, self-care, self-love. So connect with her energy. And then you got Nanahuatzin, the man covered in boils. Very interesting. So he's covered in boils. I don't know if you can see that. And this is a deity more about accepting self for all that you are, right? Like body, right? Look at the body again, right? Maybe you have like skin conditions or eczema or what is that thing called? That, like, I'm getting like oh my god, what is that thing called? That rash on the skin that comes in. Not eczema. Oh my god. If you guys know what I'm talking about, comment. But I also feel like, because this deity is all about understanding that you're sacred. Everything you have is sacred. Everything you have to give is sacred. Even if it's the last jacket on your back. Even if it's just, 50 cents to someone who needs that 50 cents on the street. This is a deity about understanding that no matter how little you feel you have, in reality it's still a lot. And there's still a lot to be grateful for because it's more than anyone else. And with this woman here, this prostitute sitting here with money all over her, whoops, they're about to fall, with money all over her, I feel like maybe there's also a lack. So some of you are trying to manifest money in your life. And so connect with Nanahuatzin, because even if you're trying to manifest money, I'm getting, they recommended the Jade, right? The deities recommended the Jade, and Jade is about money and prosperity and finances and abundance, and here she is using money. So maybe changing your outlook on money is dirty or money is the root of all evil. Maybe there's some money blockages here. And Nanahuatzin is about humility and being grateful, and some of the strongest forms of manifestation is through gratitude. So maybe the deities are also trying to remind you to manifest through gratitude. Also move away from greed and understanding that everything you have is very sacred. Like, I just keep getting sacred. There's a lot of sacred here. Some of you with this Tlatzoteo might be needing to see yourself in a different aspect and love yourself differently, because the serpent here, there's a transformation going on, that this group's going through a deep transformation. So yes, that is your reading. Thank you, pile 3. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you found this helpful. It was so much fun. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you later. Deuces.